Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Entitled Parents Reddit video. In our first story, the time I got my mother to walk right into my door. Let's jump right in. Shortly after my dad gave me a safe for my money, he also gave me a deadbolt lock for my door with a wall-mounted lockbox that required a code to get the key because my sister threw my safe through my bedroom window. We installed the lock and lockbox together while my mom and sister weren't home. When my sister first walked by my room after coming back, I saw her look at the lock and then go running to get my mom. They both came storming up the stairs to be greeted by my dad and I. The following is paraphrased from what I remember. My mom snaps her fingers a few times and points. "What the hell is that?" "A door lock." "I know what the flip it is. Why is it there?" "Because you never see fit to punish or stop our daughter from stealing from Craggle or ransacking his room. So from now on, the lock stays." "He's only 14 and this is my house. He can't have a lock on the door." "No, this is our house, but last I checked, I paid most of the mortgage and the bills. You hardly pay for anything, and I'm tired of you favoring our daughter so much that Craggle keeps having to suffer for it." "Well, then I demand you tell me the code for the lockbox at least." My dad gave a deadpan stare and said, "I'm not doing that because you've shown I can't trust you anymore." Mom then blew her top and stormed down the stairs. My sister just stood there looking pouty and then slowly walked to her room. Things were good with the new lock, and it became habitual for me to lock it every time I left my bedroom. I saw my sister and mother staring at me on numerous occasions when I input the code to get the key, but I always made sure to use my hand or my body to block their line of sight. They didn't really like that, but there wasn't anything they could do about it. Then one day, late in the month, my sister came begging me for $40 to buy a video game she really wanted. "Why do you keep coming to me to ask for money when you and I both know you'll never pay it back?" "I'll pay it back, I swear." "No, you won't. You spend everything you have and then some each month. And you know you just want to spend all of your allowance rather than pay me back. It's what you always do." "No, I don't." "Well then, how about we test that?" I then went into my room, got a pen and paper, and then handwrote an IOU contract that stated Sis would pay me back the $40 upon getting her monthly allowance. Then I told her the IOU was to be co-signed by Dad as a witness. Always have a witness for contracts, folks. Sis read the paper, then started sniffling. She tore it in half and then ran crying to Mom yet again. It was what she did every single time she didn't get her way. "Mommy!" "What is it, my little princess? What did Craggle do now?" "She wanted to borrow some money, so I asked her to sign an IOU in front of Dad. Then she freaked out." "And why would you do that? She just wanted to borrow a little money." "Would you sign the IOU as well to make sure she pays the money back?" "You little crab, I don't have to sign anything. Now just loan her the money." "Not without a signed IOU." Mom then stands up with her arm out like she's ready to hit me, then retracts it. "You're just like your father. You have to have a paper trail for everything. I hate it." I start walking up the stairs to my room. At this point, Mom, I'd say it's a good thing I'm just like Dad, because it's far better than being just like you and like Sis is, because you never do anything good. "What was that, you little crab?" Then she started storming up the stairs just as I got into my bedroom door and locked it. Now, my mom had a habit of throwing open my bedroom door to yell at me back then. She did one sweeping motion of opening the door while lunging her body forward, and at this time, I'd only had the lock on my door for a little while, so she wasn't used to it yet. I'd locked the deadbolt, and she tried to throw open my door and slammed right into it with a pretty loud thud. And I heard her fall onto the floor and start making noises of crying in pain. She'd slammed her body and face against the door pretty hard. It was an old-fashioned style door made of solid wood. It gave her a fat lip and a bump on the forehead. I opened the door and she was sprawled out and pounding her fists on the floor. "You did this to me, you little crap." "You did it to yourself. You are grounded. Get out of my sight." After that, I called Dad and he just groaned over the phone about the whole situation. He said I wasn't grounded, but I was still in big trouble for goading her, and to just let him deal with her when he got home. I ended up getting a stern lecture from Dad along with added chores and a reduction to my allowance that month, but that was about it. After that day, every time Sis asked me for money, I asked her to sign an IOU. She really didn't like that. Story number 2. You paid for them, so you can pay for us. I took the day off from work yesterday because my nephew's school was closed for the day and I wanted to spend some time with him. My brother and nephew live with me. Here is a quick dirty map of our neighborhood. My nephew is a small kid and he calls both my wife and I mom while calling my brother dad. This has led to him getting teased a bit, especially by entitled mother's son, Jared. Jared is easily 30 pounds heavier than my nephew and a solid half a foot taller, so my nephew is terrified of the kid. As a result, we don't invite that kid to parties or play days. Every other kid on the block is invited, but I refuse to force my nephew to interact with someone he's so afraid of. When the ice cream truck pulls up to our neighborhood, it stops at the very beginning of the V shape on the map. Kids, parents, and anyone else who wants an ice cream go and meet the truck there, so it doesn't have to stop at each house of the 6 houses individually. Yesterday, my nephew was playing in the yard with his friend Kevin, while I and Kevin's dad Joe were trying to keep up with them while enjoying a pitcher of slow gin fizz. All in all, a beautiful day in Middle America. And now the story begins. We hear the unmistakable sound of the ice cream man pulling up the rural route, heading towards our neighborhood. So both the kids, Joe, his wife, my brother, and I all head up to the intersection to grab some soft serve. We get to the truck and I let Joe know that this one is on me. He brought the drinks. So we all get our ice cream, I pay, and then we start to walk away. Before we get more than 20 feet from the truck, entitled mother has placed an order for her and Jared and proclaimed in her best outside voice that Mary, not my real name, will be paying for these. I take a few steps back. Excuse me? I never offered to pay for you. You said this one was on you. I was talking to Joe, not you. That's not fair. Jared was so excited for ice cream and now you're saying he can't have any? Ma'am, he's free to have all the ice cream you're willing to pay for. I'm not buying my son's bully ice cream. How dare you? Then I said to the ice cream guy, sorry for the mix-up, but she's not on my tab. I want to be clear about that. Come on, Jared, we're going home with no ice cream because Mary hates you. I switched to martinis when I got home because flip that. Why did she even come to the truck if she didn't have money on her? I'm starting to understand why her son is such a crappy kid. It's not his fault. He's being trained to be that way. This is John from /bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and want to be the first to know when the next one drops, then subscribe. And make sure you click on the notifications bell so that YouTube will actually show you my video. I would love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and I'll see you in the next one.